Hello there, my siblings in Christ. It's me, Banti. Banti be the coolest. I mean, the best Banti of all the bees. You better clock that tea. Welcome to yet another episode of Be Real, Cozy Chats with Banti B. Real talk. In a world where everybody is trying to copy everyone, owning your own identity becomes a form of strength. I am not telling you who to be. Rather, ask yourself, when was the last time was I in my truest form? And today, you should be able to answer that after this episode. For this episode is titled Owning Your Identity. Once again, welcome to Be Real Cozy Chats with TV. Of course, with your host, TV, or as you could call me, Banjarama. Right. So our topic for today is owning your identity. And I feel like this topic is a really touching topic for most of us. Not only just the youth, not only just the teenagers, but rather for most of us. Because we are so fixated into trying to be like other people, we tend to forget who we really are. You know? Yeah. So this message is for anyone who feels lost, pressured, confused, or unsure of themselves. Because honestly, we live in a generation where comparison is louder than self-love. But before we go further, let us just start by explaining what identity means. From my own POV, identity just means the honest version of oneself. Truest form, not trying to be like anybody, not comparing yourself to anybody, but rather just being yourself, just the way you are, the way you were made, and also not being shifted by the societal, the beauty, or the whatever standards that are out there which are pushing other people to change from being themselves to be like other people. So, on a personal level, why did I actually make this video? Well, it was inspired by these lovely women that I watch. My favorite podcast now. I'm officially declaring it. The Sapiosexual Platter by Miss Belle Siabo Ami and Miss Shatani Somolekai. You know? Yeah. Having some hot chocolate. Yeah, okay. The main reason or the main trigger as to why this video was made was just how I realized the depth of lack of understanding rather that the youth has right now. The youth is so pressured into becoming people that they are not, instead of building themselves, instead of focusing on themselves, instead of finding who they truly are. You know, like me, before I went to the school that I went to, before going to the junior school that I went to, it's a public school by the way, I went there without a name. I went there without, what do I call the siriti? Just a normal, a nerd rather. And I was a nerd, and I still am a nerd today. Like, I remember some days when I was asking my siblings were telling me how I'm such a nerd. I was like, you know what, I don't care. That's your own opinion. I do me, right? So I went to that school. Just I was just like me. Like, I didn't know who I was. At least I thought I knew who I was, but later on I realized that no, I do not know who I am. And that right there just like made me realize that, oh damn, okay. So I went into that school with no foundation, right? I just went there because I was so used to living under my siblings, or rather my sisters, shelter and care, because like we went to the same primary, right? And every time I would get bullied, every time somebody would be mean to me, I would go to my sister. Fine. But then now when I went there, I felt all alone. I felt all by myself. Because like, what is going on? What do you mean I'm meeting a lot of people? Why is everybody so loud? Why is everybody so mean? And why people speaking Setswana? Like, I was so used to the private life. As much as people are like St. Mary's isn't really that much of a private school, or honey, it is. If they teach you speaking Setswana, you're cooked. But we're not talking about St. Mary's, we're talking about identity, right? So then I was like, ugh, my days. From one, I was like, okay, I see you, girl. I see the kind of person that you want to be now. From two, this went downgrade. Like, it was creasing. Like, it decreased and was creasing. Because from two was like literally one of the worst years ever. Because that is when now I was in the process of finding who I was, or who I am, or who I am to be. You know, like, it was really a thing. I was like, oh wait, do I really like this? No, I don't. Do I really like this? No, I don't. And like, the crazy thing and the most annoying thing was that everybody looked like it looked like they knew who they were. They were okay with the people, with the personalities that they were, you know. And like, I just felt like I was like in that persona, that thing that I don't even know which word to use, because I feel like I was just lacking that persona. Yeah, because I feel like I was lacking that persona that everybody has. Everybody had that charismatic, energetic. Everybody knew who they were. Banky, did you know who you know? But from three, then I realized that, damn, okay, this is the kind of person that I am. I'm not a shy person. But what I do know is that I'm an extroverted introvert. I am an extroverted introvert, right? So then I did certain things. I started shying away from other things. I started leaving other things just for me to really know who I am, from from the deep depth of my heart, who Bantle Ramolefe is. From 3. Okay. And I'll take you through it while we're also talking and digesting to this. Why we struggle to know ourselves. Well, firstly, we live in a country of social media. Well, okay, not necessarily social media, but we live in a country that is just right now so fixated. I mean, the youth rather is just so fixated into the social media, into like influencing, like the content creation, all that thing. Everybody's just so fixated into what Kim Kardashian said, into what Spokesy said. I love Spokesy, by the way. Into what that one said, that one said, that one said, that one said. And that right there, it brings so much comparison to the point where it dims one's light, like it dims people's light. Of course, obviously, when you compare yourself to Kim Kardashian, you're like, oh my days, Kim Kardashian she's so rich, she has a perfect family. You don't know what her life is like. You genuinely don't. And that right there is the first point why we struggle to know ourselves, because we we tend to focus more into social media and into what other people's lives are like. And guys, there's a saying, even people have been saying that whatever you're seeing on the internet is not always true, and that is a fact. It is a total fact. Whatever you're seeing on the internet is someone showing you their positive lives. So if when you're there, you're banti, and you're like, oh my days, I want to be so much like Miss Belsiabo. I'm gonna start I'm gonna start a makeup brand, a podcast, and when you're there trying to live so much like her. Let me not take Miss Belsa because I know number one. Let me talk about okay, Miss Matema, Mrs. Girard. Yeah, let's talk about Miss Matema. Miss Matema is there, she's living her own life. She's a recording artist. Good, she does a lot of things, a plethora of things, And now you're there, you're like, oh my days, I want to be so much like her. You don't know how God brought her up. You don't know her story behind. You don't know the convictions that she got through to be able to be where she is right now. You don't know the level of obedience that she had to have to be where she is right now. So I feel like social media is just one thing that shifts people's focus, that shifts the way people's like personalities, the way people see life, And just right there is the first thing that literally is the first point of why we struggle to know ourselves, And then also we lose ourselves because everything around us tells us to be someone else. Now, isn't that honest? Like, if we take it, I'm not saying this out of anger or anything. I'm not saying this out of anger or pessimism or anything. No, I'm saying this out of a place of concern. Like, I'm really concerned for my generation. Because not only our generation, even the generation before us, like Batswadi Barona guys. Batswadi Barona are also a major contributors to why we struggle to find ourselves, because they're always comparing us to bana ba bangwe. Bona re file ke ole o irile degree ya gagwe ga nne le nna mo lapeng o nna tlisetsa mmagwe grocery. Bona kabelo ko le o kgwetsa Mercedes Benz. Bona motho le itshomeletse kgwebo. Bona mole, and it's such a draining thing, and from such a young age. Look, Tumelene always comes back with her pencils. She does not lose her pencils. From just right there, Motswadi is planting a seed, a seed into ngwanateng. Ngwanateng o tlo gola ka self-doubt. O tlo gola ka ana shelterile, ana shelter, like ana ale so reserved to the point eleng gore yaanong ha sa tlholo a go ikitse wa go gola ntse re lae mo bathong ba bangwe, wa go gola a ntse ne compare le batho ba bangwe. And I feel like this statement that I just said, definitely, I'd say it mostly resonates with the way bagolo ba re godisang ka teng. And it's not a right thing. Maybe like I want to like start a chat, or like, I don't know, start a chat on like how to raise a 2K, because bagolo think that we still have the mindsets like theirs. And also, I mean, this is also a 50-50 thing. Bagolo is just not comparing you. They're doing it thinking that it is what's best for you, but little did they know that they're harming you. Like they're preventing you from making the same mistakes that they did while growing up. So that right there's like a contradiction between the parents and what, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. And then also, number 3, friends tell us to fit in. I cannot stress this. Oh my days. Friends tell us to fit in. Right now, if you go to schools, that people called Latweezies, that people called baddies, that people called, what are they called, Kanti? I don't know. I forgot. Macheki, maskr, everything. And everybody right now is trying so hard to be like them because they're now the it thing. And for a Latwizi to be there, it was just one person. When e le gore na ithatetse go apara kana rata go apara, ene a ba di said rena ke nna le Latwizi o mongwe ba kopa. Now it ends up becoming a thing in gore it's a trend. And once something is a trend in this generation, it's like it's mandatory to be it's mandatory to be followed by every single child. Like sometimes even scares me, like, oh, what, you're literally going to buy those shoes because you don't like them, but you're just gonna buy them. What is the it thing? And also, like, just like lacking identity, also I feel like it is also accompanied with insecurities. Lacking your identity is majorly accompanied with having insecurities. I remember yesterday, I'm sorry guys, excuse my voice, hey? Excuse my voice. So I was watching like the Sexual Platter. I forgot what the episode was about, but I remember, I don't know if it was Miss Shati. They were like, yeah, what? I'm not sure, but I think it was Miss Shati. She was like, for you to be able to have the confidence is for you to be able to have a source. I don't know what your source may be, because mine, yours may be from your parent. If you know my God is a living God, if you know that I serve a living God, He is my Father, I am His daughter, I will fear nothing. I will trample upon cobras and lions, and I will step on them and crush them, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Then you're going to have that confidence. Then you're going to end up knowing yourself. Because now, now I'm diverting to something else, but let me just finish. When you have that confidence, you're going to end up knowing yourself. That's why I always say, let go and let God. Now I'm being biased. Move on. We struggle so hard to find ourselves because friends tell us to fit in. Friends are always telling us, go get that thing. And okay, let me say this. If you haven't settled, if you have not found yourself, you're going to settle into what your friend is telling you. If you do not know yourself, then you are definitely going to settle with what somebody else is telling you. And that is a fact, baby girl. That is a fact, baby boy. That is generally a fact. And then now, what comes with not knowing yourself? The cost. And this is the cost of not knowing yourself. When you don't know who you are, anybody can literally pull you and tell you to do whatever they want you to do. Tell me I'm lying. I know I'm not. Because when you're not settled in who you are not going to, it's kind of like, I'm sorry for using this term, but this is the closest to what I can use. Like, you're kind of like amoral. You can't differentiate from what is wrong and right. But even if you can, you don't have the strength to do it. You don't have the ability to stand up against that person and be like, no, enough is enough. Because like, you don't know who you are. You don't even know if I love roses or flowers, but you're out there, you're telling people I love lilies, knowing very well. Yeah. So anyone can influence your decisions. The cost of not knowing yourself. Anybody can literally influence your decisions. If you don't know who you are, if you're not settled in who you want to be, if you're just used to peer pressure, influence, then obviously anyone can influence your decisions. Like, literally anyone can influence your decisions. When that guy's like, let's go party, you're like, yes. Well, like, let's go study, you're like, yes. Like, everybody can literally influence your decisions, because learn, you can't even know what I like. You don't even know who you are enough to be able to stand up against the ring. Let's go party. You don't even know yourself. No, I don't want to go study, because you don't know if you're a person or I hope you laugh. And then another thing is that anyone can confuse you, use you, or lead you away from your purpose. I like it over here. Anybody can use you. If you're banti and you're like, I don't know if I like dating, it's going to be like easy for him to be able to use you. Simply just because you don't know who you are, you don't know your principles, you don't know what you stand for, you don't know your values, you don't know your beliefs. No Honorable Lesotho's values, you know Minister Kinewindo's beliefs, and you believe that when you follow them, life is going to work out for you. Unfortunately not. We are all human beings with different purposes. God has inserted a certain thing in you that is not even in anybody else. You are unique enough for you. You're like, you are that unique that God gave you a certain thing. And it is up to you if you're going to utilize that thing. It is up to you if you're going to find who you are at the right time and stop trying to fit in. Because the moment you're fitting in, you're losing yourself. The moment you're fitting in, you're losing that spark, you're losing that light. It's like you're dimming it more. Like, But when you own your identity, you will be able to have your peace. Just like at Musolapula, after finding out who I am, after finding out what I stand for, what I love, and I'm one person who stands for authenticity. Like, you could go into my Instagram page and be like, she is not like everybody else. She has something weird about it, and it's a little bit wabi-sabi, and that is what I like about me. Like, I love to embrace my imperfections. I love to embrace my differences from other people because I genuinely enjoy being unique. Because, you know, and I'm not saying that you should feel the same, but yeah, you're going to be able to find that peace. And when from 3, I realized that, okay, I'm one person that loves content creation. I'm one person that loves speaking, talking, advocating, debating, reading, writing, poetry, whatever, singing, all of these things. And then I just had that peace within me to just be calm and be like, okay, the war is over. It just felt like the war is over. Why do I say that? I'm saying that the war is over because I ended up finding who I am. I stopped trying to be like other people, trying to fit in, trying to impress other people, just stop attention seeking, you know. And that's when I had peace within myself. And also, when you own your identity, you're going to make decisions based on truth and not pressure. You're going to analyze things and do things based off of truth, based off what you feel, and not of pressure, not of what people tell you to do, not of what the society tells you to do, not of what your best friend tells you to do. You're going to be autonomous enough to be able to distinguish what I really desire and what that person desires. Now when you're going to make that decision, you're going to be like, okay, I love speaking to other people. I'm gonna do this because I enjoy doing it, not because I was told to do it. And I believe that is the mentality that we should start having. Let us start changing our mind. I think that as Batswana, we think that authenticity is not really that thing. Now, and one thing about me, I'm a cultural person. You know, and now in this generation, it's like it's embarrassing. They're only going to wait for that one Betty person to post a happy independence, then that's when everybody's going to do it because it seems like it's acceptable, you know. And that right there, my love, is danger. The moment you pursue or the moment you continue on doing something that is not aligned to your will, or something that is not, even not your will, God's will, but something that is not aligned to your purpose, then let me tell you something. You are going to push yourself back in reverse instead of going forward. Now, the moment you realize that, damn, I want to figure out who I am now. I'm tired of living in other people's shadows. By that time, you'll be 35. Bana ba le 3. Ga o itse re godisa yang bana ba gago. Bana ba go golela mo go wena in that shelter. I rather feel like they're being sheltered, you know. So it's rather important that you find yourself now. Embrace yourself now. Be that wabi sabi. Show that acne to the world. Show that your legs look unbalanced to the world. And I love unbalanced legs, by the way. Show people the person that you are and stop showing people what people want to see. Show people the person that you are. Make people feel attracted. Be attracted to you, but not doing it the way society wants you to do it. If your heart is telling you, I genuinely want to do music, focus on music and do not go do loyaleng gore e tlo go palle be go irisa FD. Ha tso ha mo lapeng hape o bitsa go you are a failure. The next thing, that's when suicide rates go up, they inflate. Yeah, own your identity, my love. Find yourself. If it means that you have to be by yourself, then be by yourself to be able to find yourself. Okay? Please. Now, how to own your identity. How to own your identity. Number one, just like practical steps. Number one, I would recommend that you take some time off of social media, like detox from social media. Anything that is going to derail you from focusing on yourself, from focusing on finding yourself, push it away. I mean, it's obviously not going to be easy, but like you just have to just find who you are. Be by yourself, not necessarily isolating, but like being by yourself to listen to yourself. What do these teachers like? Self-introspect, you know? Self-introspection is so important. Sit down, take your journal, start writing down, who am I? What is my name? Am I where I wanted to be? No. How am I? What are the things that I'm going to do to try to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve? You know, start introspecting, start focusing on yourself, start meditating if you have to, start journaling if you have to, start reading, find out your likes and dislikes, you know, just like be by yourself, be in the moment. And then another pointer of how to own your identity: stop chasing validation. Stop seeking validation from other people. The only being that you can seek validation from is uNkulunkulu, Morena Jesu Christ Nazareth. That is where you can seek your validation from. If you're always going to seek validation from other people, you're never going to make it in life. I mean, I've seen people at school be damaged by what other people have said about them because they solely focus, they solely like pinned their they completely pinned their interest onto what people say or what people want them to do, what people want, basically like what people want their interest to be, you know. Like I've seen people literally go to school wearing 900 just for them to be able to see me like, oh my days, I like your hair, and be like, ayo, type shade, thank you, type of stuff. Lala, grow up. Lala, leave that mentality. Lala, pass off. Not chill. And another thing that you have to do, guys, is set boundaries, okay? Please set boundaries. Like, you need to start setting boundaries and be like, here, you're not gonna cross in your relationships, in your friendships, in your daily interactions or interactions, I don't know, in your daily interactions with other people. Set boundaries. If I'm here and I'm a friend with Tumelo and Tumelo oversteps, I'm gonna be like, no, Tumelo, go back. You're not gonna do that. And this is my boundary. I'm setting it. You're not going to overstep into my life, okay? And Tumelo also has to understand that that is my life. And also another thing about owning identity is that somewhat, however, you're going to eventually develop interpersonal skills. Because you're going to be able to have that level of assertiveness to be able to express your emotions to other people. And I mean, communication skills, listening skills are going to be developed because you're going to know who you are, you're going to own your identity, you're going to understand who you are and how you work, how your values and how your beliefs work, what you stand for. And eventually you're going to develop those certain characteristics and be like, you're going to be able to have the confidence, be able to fight against or to be able to stand up against what people are gonna say. Okay, but before I close off, I just wanted to tell you that owning yourself isn't always going to be easy. It's a rocky journey. If I took 3 years to find who I am, until today I'm not settled. I'm still shaky sometimes. But if it'll take you 5 years to find who you are, then let it be. So be it. Find, like, knowing who you are is also going to be like a difficult thing, because sometimes you're just gonna be like, wait, what? I like that? Is it really? So I just think that I just wanted to tell you that owning yourself means choosing you over everybody. I'm not saying that stop being empathetic or sympathetic. What I am saying is that choose you when needed. Let's cover heartless, guys. I'm saying that choose you when needed. Okay? That is what owning your identity means. Owning your identity means that even when everybody is against you, you're going to be like, I stand for what I stand for. And that is my own opinion. Like, be vocal about who you are. Be vocal about your opinions. Be vocal about what you stand for what you do, and what you will always do. I want to tell you that life is going to be that way if you're taking the step to own your identity. Not everybody is going to accept you for who you are, and that's totally okay. That is them. They missed, and we're going to move on. Okay, we're going to move on. My last word for you is that choose you, find you, and be you. Okay, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, drop a comment, like, share, and yeah, just share it to other people who you feel like need it. Share it to your story if possible. Share it, and just like, so that people could come and learn. People could come and also grasp the knowledge that they need. Maybe it's not for you, but it's for your friend. Maybe it's not for you, but it's for your neighbor. But I just love to say that be you, choose you, find you. This was Be Real Cozy Chats with banti, and this is Banti Ramolefe signing out.